All right, so let's get into the start of the show. We had Brock Lesnar come out there and pick up Michael Cole and walk around the ring with him in a full circle, and then he tosses Michael Cole in the ring. I don't know what was the point of this, but he tosses Michael Cole in the ring. I think Michael Cole is supposed to do like an interview with him or something, but he's mad at the world. I guess Brock is mad at everybody except for John Cena apparently, because he's feuding with everyone except for John Cena. This is absolutely terrible. So yeah, that happens. Michael Cole gets tossed in the ring by Brock Lesnar, and then Corey Graves comes in the ring. He tries to interfere and stop Brock Lesnar from, hurting Michael Cole. And then Corey Graves gets hits with an F5. And then Brock Lesnar looks at the camera and says, "Cena, I'm coming for you." But that doesn't make any sense. If you were truly coming for John Cena, where were you Monday Night Raw when he was there? This story makes zero sense. Like, how are you looking every other show trying to find John Cena except for the shows he show up to? Who is writing this? Who is booking this garbage? There's literally holes in the story. Like, a 2-year-old could write a better story than this. Like, bro, it's absolutely just mind-blowing how just dumb and monotonous this is. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, the crowd is chanting, "Cena, Cena," and he does not come out. Cena does not make an appearance, no shock appearance or anything like that. So you would have thought maybe that could have happened, but no, it doesn't happen. And that was literally the end of the opening show. Brock Lesnar just wanders off the screen after that, and then he goes to the back. Yeah, that's how that ended. Pretty stupid. So yeah, just leave it up to Triple H to book Brock Lesnar like an absolute idiot. Like, he literally has no brain cells. Like, come on, Triple H, what are you doing? But after all that, we do move on to our first match, which was Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. It was a tag team title match versus Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. I do not know who Alba Fire is, and the match was absolutely boring. It was literally just a bunch of jobbers. Charlotte and Alexa are literally facing jobbers. It was no surprise they were going to win. Of course, they were not going to give their titles to those jobbers. No surprise, the match was stale, lame, and terrible. Then, after that match ended, it cuts to a backstage segment with the Street Profits and them talking about wanting to get their tag titles back. And this knockoff Bray Wyatt shows up, literally imitating Bray Wyatt's speaking behavior and his actions. Literally, he's just trying to be another Bray Wyatt. And that shit is ass. So, after that happens, Eric Rowan shows up and attacks them from behind. It looked absolutely horrible the way the attack went down. Not gonna lie, it's just harder and harder to watch this crap show every week. Now we move on to some random ass tag team named Fraxium, and they were in the ring. Their entrance music, they were just in the ring doing their little jazz or whatever. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed shows up and attacks them from behind. And Paul Heyman comes out there doing his same boring ass promo, his same, this is not a spoiler, but a prediction, just rinse and repeat ass promo. And that cuts to an end because the Fraxium, however you say their stupid ass name, Fraxium team, they show up and they attack Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed from behind. Oh my goodness, this show is ass. So that happens, and then Nick Aldis comes out, books this jobber ass match, and then Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. No, Weed would be better than freaking watching this match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed freaking wins, of course, against this jobber ass team. So yeah, no surprise. The match was literally less than a commercial break. The match was like less than 5 minutes. Like, I literally could have went and did anything for 5 minutes, came back, and the match is over. Yeah, that match was pointless. Fast forward, and the fact that WWE keeps on trying to promote this ESPN thing, their ESPN deal, every 30 minutes on the show. That shit is just it's so stupid, bro. It's so dumb. Every 30 minutes they're telling you to download ESPN and all that garbage. But I have a better alternative. If you have the Netflix app, get a VPN and you can watch WrestlePalooza basically for free. Get a VPN. You don't have to spend $30. It's a better, cheaper, free alternative. But they don't want to tell you that because they're trying to get themselves out of $3 billion in debt. So, of course, they will never tell you that. Besides Stephanie, of course, she's a real one for that one. But they ain't gonna really want to tell you that. Triple H and all of them, they don't want to tell you that. And moving on from that, we go to Nia Jax. Nia Jax comes out there, does a promo, trash talking the women's division, saying they aren't alpha females, and she says she's the alpha female of the women's division, while calling out Tiffy and saying, she beat her up and all that, and making fun of Jade Cargill, saying Jade will wish she could have Nia's in-ring ability because she needs it. Which she isn't wrong, but I wouldn't say Jade would prefer Nia's in-ring ability because I'm sure she can choose a whole lot better. But soon after that, Tiffy comes out, cuts a basic promo, and then Jade comes out marching herself down to the ring trying to fight Nia Jax, but she gets stopped by security, and whoop-de-doo, you guessed it. Nick Aldis comes out, shows up, books a triple threat match between those three for next week's SmackDown. And my guess is Tiffy is going to retain her title anyway in that meaningless match. But after that, we go on to the next match with Carmelo Hayes versus Sami Zayn for the U.S. title. The match was decent. I think Carmelo is a good wrestler, and him and Sami had some flow during the match, but it's not anything special that's going to move the needle. And of course, Sami wins, no surprise. But Carmelo, I think he should work on, doing more crowd work and build hype for his finishers, like how Roman does with his Superman punch and spear. I think that's what separates these wrestlers apart from one another, is how they connect with the audience. And I think that's something Carmelo is lacking. And if he focuses on that too, and then he can push himself more to the next level by doing that, because he does have potential. And it's also up to Triple H to book him right, but that may never happen because Triple H can't create stars. He only creates jobbers and books jobber versus jobber matches over and over again. Therefore, I give this show a -1 out of 10. But no, it's still not over. It's still not over. There's one more portion of the show, which is the Cody versus Drew contract signing, which I do not care for this last second booked ass match. The match serves no purpose with no good story behind it. It's there just to help them push out this last second slop WrestlePalooza. That's all this is for. So no matter what happens during this contract signing, my rating will not change. But I'm going to give you guys a quick summary anyway. All right, Cody, comes out there. And then Drew comes out there. And then Nick Aldis is in between them. And Cody is making fun of Drew McIntyre, calling him a keyboard warrior because he likes to tweet about him, just making fun of his Scottish warrior persona. Then Drew headbutts Cody, and they have a mini brawl outside the ring, and the show's over. Nothing more, nothing less, and SmackDown is still a -1 out of 10. Would not recommend. And to be honest, because of how boring Cody is, I'd rather see Drew win the title than Cody retain. But I know that's probably not going to happen because Triple H is a terrible booker, and that's the end. And my final thoughts is WWE has lost its identity, and there is a saying, if you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. And that's what WWE has done. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with what I have to say? And what's your thoughts on the current state of WWE? And make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, and that's about it.